Okay, so just thinking back to what we were looking at before, with the product rule, we know that we're adding exponents. Okay, so the product rule is telling me what this is equal to, and I'm going to write this in 2 steps, but you don't have to. This is 4 to the 2 plus 3, so this is equal to 4 to the 5. Okay, this one here would be 7 to the 5 minus 2, which is equal to 7 to the 3. Now what we're going to look at today is actually another rule. Now this is the power of a power rule. So what we're looking at here is, well, this really says 5 squared times 5 squared times 5 squared. So if we were to expand that out, we've got 5 times 5 times 5 times, oh, I'm just going to write 5 squared, 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 5s there. 5 to the 6. Well, let's do another one. This one really says 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times, same thing again, because we're squared, we've got 2 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 tens. Alright, let's do it again. This one, I'm going to change it because k is annoying. Let's do m to the 3 to the 5. Now I'm going to have to write pretty small here to fit this in. But we've got m times 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 last one here. Okay, so we had m cubed, which is 3 m's multiplied together, to the exponent 5, which is that 5 times. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 m's. So when we're looking at this, our general rule for this one is a to the n to the exponent m is just equal to the multiple of our 2 exponents. Okay, we just multiply our 2 exponents together. Alright, so if we had something like this, we're going to kind of put it all together now. Okay, I'm not going to give you any examples of the last one, we're going to do it right in the question. We're going to put all of these together. So first, we're going to do a little bit of bed mass. So we've got 2 to the 8. I've got to do my exponents first. And I know they're all kind of exponents, but on the very last term here, we've got an exponent in an exponent. Okay, so we've got to do that first. And these two are a power of a power, so we have to multiply them. So we've got to do 4 times 3. So we've got 2 to the 12. Okay, well, now, if I'm multiplying common base, and I'm multiplying, I've got to add them. So I've got 8 plus 5. Well, that's 2 to the 13 divided by 2 to the 12. If I've got division, I've got to subtract. 13 minus 12 is 1, and 2 to the 1 is just equal to 2. So this whole big long equation that we're looking at just equals 2. We just have to work it out slowly. Okay, so working through these, and I'm going to zoom in on them and just go through them slowly. So this first one is a product rule. It's just the straight product rule. Okay, so we're just adding our exponents. When common bases, they're both y. We just add our exponents. 3 plus 5 is 8. Okay, this one's a little bit harder. First thing we have to do, look at our numbers in front. Okay, so 6 divided by 3 gives us 2. So now we've gotten rid of those. Now we've got common bases for our p, so we have to subtract them because it's division. 7 minus 3, so I'm going to write my base. 7 minus 3 is 4. I did my numbers first, and then I worried about my letters. Okay, moving on again. Here, it's multiplication. We need to add. Let's do our a's first. We're going to do it in parts. a first. Okay, so we write our a, and then 2 plus 6. 2 plus 6 is 8. Then we're going to do our b's. b, 3 plus 4. 3 plus 4 is 7. Okay, all done that. Now over here, now this one, we need to make sure that that 3, and we talked about this earlier, goes to every part of this equation. Okay, so 3 to the 3 is 3 times 3, it was just 9, times 3 is 27. Okay, now on the x, we've got x squared, well, we've got to multiply our exponents. So that becomes x to the 6, 2 times 3 is 6. Here we've got y to the 4. Y to the 4, we've got to multiply it times 3. We get 12. Okay, so I did it slowly, but I put it on each part. The 3, I just cubed. X squared, I multiplied my exponents. Y to the 4, I multiplied my exponents. Alright, so one last question that's kind of putting everything together, and it is a pretty tough question. Now I put something there. I'm going to erase it for now, but what I'm going to say, oh, it's down here as well. Anything that has no exponent, we can always remember actually has a 1. Okay, so let's look at our numbers first on the top. We're going to do the top and the bottom, and then we're going to put them together. So negative 2 times 8. Well, negative 2 times 8 is negative 16. Now we've got x to the 1 and x squared. We're multiplying, so we need to add our exponents. 1 plus 2 is 3. Then we've got our y's. Now we've got a 5 and a 2. We're multiplying, so we need to add our exponents. 5 plus 2 is 7. And now we're done the top. We're going to look at the bottom. Remember that 2's got to go to everything. The number, the x's, the y's. So 4 squared gives us 16. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. And now we're going to do our next step. Negative 16 divided by 16 is negative 1. So I can either write negative 1, put it like that so that you know that it's a 1 and it's not like an I or something, or I can just put the negative sign. Now I can look at my x's. X cubed minus x squared. Well, that's going to give me x to the 1 on the top, or just x. Y to the 7 minus y to the 6. Well, that's just going to give me y, and I'm all done. Now I'm going to give you one more example. Let's call it f. And I'm not going to make it that difficult. I'm going to just do it for simplifying purposes. What if I gave you something like this? If we had x to the 7 times y to the 3, z to the 4. And then on the bottom, we had x to the 4, y, z to the 9. All we have to do in this case is we're always looking for the higher exponent, and we're subtracting in that direction. Okay, this goes back to what we were talking about with our negative exponents and keeping them on the right side of the fraction. If I were to just do the law the straight, normal way, and I'll write it in a different color and kind of do it over here, what we would get is 7 minus 4 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. And 4 minus 9 is negative 5. And now if I don't remember what Mr. Shaw said, I don't know what to do with that negative. However, if I always look for the bigger exponent, the bigger exponent is 7. So 7 minus 4 is 3. The bigger exponent is 3. So 3 minus 1 is 2. Now the bigger exponent here is on the bottom, so z is actually going to be on the bottom. 9 minus 4 is 5. And now that's actually the correct answer. This one's correct, but we would need to change it to what we have on the left there. Oh, no, that's not y, that's z. To make it more right. Okay, and there's a worksheet that goes with this note.